What's up, everybody? Joseph Aaron here. I'm your rich dad.
Alex Giletti here. I am the poor son.
Okay, we got to change that identity at some point.
We do, but the name just hits so well.
In today's episode, I want to talk to you about a question my other son, Justice, asked me tonight about how to be great. So, right, that's a good question.
That is a good question. How many of you have ever asked that question yourself before?
I think a lot of people never even ask the question because they understand that greatness requires such a cost. They're just like, I'm okay with mediocre.
True.
I hope
Our
that's not
audience
you.
isn't mediocre though.
That's not our audience.
We
That's
don't
not
like
our
being
people.
Mediocre.
We don't play
Yeah.
in mediocre. It's all good. And so I thought it was a great question though, because you and I were talking about it last night, and I thought it'd be something that we could all talk about here. So hopefully you guys are enjoying these episodes as they come out. I do want to let you know Alex is climbing the charts. Like, money continues to come in, sales continue to happen. You literally just turned 18 yesterday.
Yep.
Let's give Alex a big round of applause. Happy birthday, Alex!
Yep. All my efforts.
I think I deserve a medal of some sort. I put it on my Facebook. I'm like, I went all the way through 18 years of parenting you, and I am not a child abuser. And so, like, it's like
you can't even get investigated for that statement.
That's right. I need a. You're literally flinching when I did it. I need a medal back here that says "not a child abuser." Because I made it.
It's Christmas present.
How many of you know Alex pushed my buttons a lot? But anyways, that's a whole nother story. Let's talk about greatness. So Justice was asking today about, he's in this room and there's of wrestlers. Wrestling season is getting ready again.
Right.
And he's in this room. And I know you may not be a wrestler, but the principles apply. I had a sentence I used to tell you all the time, which is greatness is celebrated in all of its categories. And so I'm thinking that some of you probably want to be great. And so, Alex, let's talk about Justice's thing.
Let's talk about it.
What were your thoughts when he asked that question? First of all, just the question of greatness.
It came up, just to give a little bit of context to you guys. We were talking about anybody who knows who Marcus Blaze is. If you don't, he's my age and he just became a world champion in the U20 division. Crazy good. Beat college national champions.
Right.
Beat former world champions, I think, or world placers. He is a world champion now.
Yep.
Crazy good. And so we were talking about him because I'm trying to learn. He wrestles. His style is a lot like mine in many ways. And so obviously you learn from greatness. And Justice asked the question. He's like, what makes it so that some people like Marcus Blaze are so great? And what does he get that other people don't get?
Yeah.
Why is he great, but this other room full of kids, none of them are great like him?
Like, what does he understand that the rest of them don't? Yeah. What do you think of the answer? First of all, in the chat, what do you think the answer is? Why are some people great and other people, like, they're in the game and they're having fun and stuff like that, but they're just not at that level? What's the difference? Good question.
Well, my first thought was time. I'm like, he's put. I couldn't even probably count how much time he's put in if I knew it. And this goes for anybody who's great. But then there's also people that dedicate their whole lives and never break that threshold.
There's people who spent more time than him in the game, but are not nearly as good.
Right.
And so it's not time. Time is not the thing necessarily.
Right.
It's an element.
It definitely is.
It's necessary, but it's probably not sufficient.
And intensity was another one too.
Okay, that's a good one. Intensity.
Another good thought, but those are my two initial answers that I thought of.
Well, you also know, like with intensity, like if you want to be great, intensity is a piece. But again, people who are more intense than Marcus Blaze,
right,
or than whoever you have in your category.
Right.
Right now, the whole talk in my world is Alex Hormozi because Alex did a $105 million event in 2 days. So that's cool.
Talked about a little bit.
Right. So, and he definitely had some intensity, but I'd be happy to say there's people that are more intense than Alex Hormozi, right? But yet they're not getting the results that he's getting.
Interesting.
So it's not time necessarily. It's not intensity. I feel like Socrates right now. So he would ask the question.
And then it's like work. Maybe he just worked harder, but I feel like that falls in the same realm as intensity.
Yeah, intensity, work, right? It's like, here was my answer. And I'd love to hear what you all say. But my answer, when your son asks you a question, here's my answer. I'll just be out with it. My answer was what he focused on.
Say that again.
My answer was the reason he was great is because he focused on the right things.
Right.
The others may have had more drive. They may have put more effort.
Yeah.
But he chose to focus on things that had the greatest yield or result for his life.
Right.
And I know looking back in stages of my life, in the seasons and stages where I wasn't operating at a level of greatness, which that changes all the time. If you know,
Right.
this like old version of me would have thought this version of me is great. This version of me is like, boo. Like
Right.
there's another, right? Does that happen to
You
you?
just
Nestle?
keep
Yeah.
climbing, right?
Yeah. So I'm not trying to set myself up as great or anything like that. But compared to old me, he would think that I was great. And hopefully old you thinks this version of you is great as well. But when I think about greatness and focus, knowing the things that actually move the needle for the desires of your life, it's not as easy as it sounds.
It's not.
And I don't think a wrestler, to use Alex's example, could make that decision. It takes the wisdom and the prudence and the understanding of someone who's been in the game much, much longer and seen many iterations.
His next question was, how did he know what to focus on?
Yeah. How do you know what to focus on? And the same's true for you. How do you know what to focus on?
How come he knows what to focus on, but all these other people don't?
Right. And my answer was he's in the room with greatness. So he's found a way to get connected and rub shoulders with people. Yeah. The Bible says it this way: iron sharpens iron.
It's a good verse.
It's a really good verse.
Yeah.
And so it's easy to get distracted by things that don't matter as much as you give them credit for. I heard one 90-year-old man who was a billionaire. I heard a quote from him, and he said, "It's absolutely impossible to overestimate." Listen to me now. It's absolutely impossible to overestimate the absolute worthlessness of almost everything. He learned to focus, Alex, on just the things
that were important. So then let's talk about like this. Just on a practical side, we've been talking about wrestling. Now let's shift a little to business. I have been wanting to get more leads. I'm really diving in, studying leads. Yep. Alex Hormozi's a big one that I'm looking at. There's that other thing that we bought. Closers.io. Going through that. I want to get really good at getting attention and leads like that.
Yep.
How would focus apply here? It would apply in like, because I feel like I specifically have a hard time focusing on stuff. I'm more of a starter than a finisher many times. And so I find it very easy to start projects. And
that's very normal for entrepreneurs, just so you know. They tend to be starters and not finishers. It's okay. You need people around you who can help finish.
Okay.
But carry on.
I don't know if anybody out there can relate with what I'm saying right now.
To answer your question, the first thing that I think is important is that you pay attention to the thoughts and beliefs of people who are who you want to be and have done what you want to do. And if it's something that no one's ever done before, then the people who've gotten closest to that. Right. I think a lot of times and I've done it myself. Sometimes you may take too much advice on diets from fat people. And it's like, if they don't have the results you want, then don't mimic them. Don't copy them. There's a lot of business owners who don't have a great family. I don't want to hear their advice. Right. I really got to take it with a grain of salt because it's important to me that I build something lasting. Right. And so
what's that? That's what you're focused on.
Yeah. And so there are another thing so one is the person who's done it. Another thing that should give you focus is principles.
And principles stay the same no matter where they're at. No
matter what they're doing. Right. So we're talking here. We didn't make this up beforehand, just so you know. Like
we're just having a conversation.
Right. But I would say principles.
Okay.
Right? Because principles have never failed. They've lasted thousands and thousands of years. That's why I go to the Bible. That's why I read the book of Proverbs as often as possible. Ecclesiastes is just full of principles that if you follow the principles, you don't fail. It doesn't mean nothing you do ever doesn't fail. It just means overall you can't fail.
Right. Yep.
Right.
And I know one of those is the righteous man falls down 7 times and gets back up. So.
Yeah. So to answer your question, how do you know which things to focus on? Well, you want to focus on principles, and you want to focus on the things that people who are as close to where you want to be are saying. So as an example, in wrestling, they teach them all kinds of moves all the time. You go into a high school practice, everybody's at about a high school practice level, and they're teaching new moves all the time, right? you're in a room now every week, 3 times a week, and there's somewhere between 2 and 3 world level wrestlers that are in the room. What are they focused on?
They are focused on the same couple of things. I would like, obviously, we'll go from shot offense to shot defense.
Right.
But it's basically the core fundamentals of what we need to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, oh, you're going to dive this way and roll to your back and flip over. It's like, okay, your chest is here, it needs to be here.
Right.
Or something.
It's principle based. It's
Very
positional, right?
It's very positional.
Yeah.
Very specific.
How does that apply to them?
The small fox spoils the vine. I think that's in the Bible.
Another
somewhere.
principle. Jesus said that. Yes.
Yep, Jesus said that. That's how you know it's good. It's
Yeah.
in the
If
red
Jesus
text.
said it, focus on that.
It's in the red text. That's someone you can focus
Yes.
on.
In the original Greek, it's in red too.
Yep.
I'm just kidding.
So in other words, Greek scholar nerd. In other words, there are things that you wouldn't even consider to be a threat that are actually going to undermine everything that you're trying to do. And it's so annoying to me. Like, have I ever told you guys, one time I was trying to code like this AI bot that was going to work for us, and nothing was working. Everything fell apart when I hit deploy. And I'm like, what is going on? And I had my mom come check because my mom is a genius. And all she did.
Shout out to Mama!
Shout out to Mom right
Woo,
now.
Mama Melody!
She looked. This is the most annoying thing I've ever had happen to me.
Uh-oh.
She looked inside of the code, and there was a capital S instead of a lowercase s. And so she removed it, replaced it with a lowercase s, and guess what? Everything worked perfectly.
Mama Melody catches
And I'm
stuff
like,
that.
I think I sit in silence for like 20 minutes. Just to see the
Which that was a miracle.
If you know me, you know that doesn't happen. So that's just an example.
So you're say that point again. So what's the main point from that?
The main point is whenever you're focusing,
Mm-hmm.
you need to make sure you're focusing on the right things, which may also be small things.
Small things.
Even when they're small, if they're the principle of it all, focus on that.
Okay. So we've got principles, we've got ancient principles, we've got in the right room with the right focus, the right people. And I want to encourage all of you because it is a world where it is easy to lose focus. I wish, the funny thing is if I go back to when I'm 20 and I was to ask myself, what does a successful person look like? What do successful people do? Like, I knew the answers then. Right?
You just didn't do them yet.
But I allowed myself to be distracted. Or I allowed myself to put off the things that are most important so that I could finish the things that were less important. And then I got distracted again before I ever got to them.
That's good.
So, and I think one of the most important things in this world you can do, in my opinion, is actually build and create things. I'm going to say that again. Actually build and create things. You may be called to build a movement. You may be called to build a business. You may be called to build a family. You may be called to do other things. It may not be a calling at all. You just have the freedom. You can create an AI business. You can create an AI bot. And the things that you build and create give you experience, credibility, wisdom, and leverage, like we talked about a couple episodes ago, to be able to do even more. Because when you can build, then you can build what you want. And when you can build what you want, if you're a good person, you're going to make an impact on more and more people because you're building something good in the world. And so focus on building something. I love that for you. I know that when you had your accident.
That was the one thing I thought, what did I build for the kingdom?
What did I build? Right. And so that's our encouragement to you today. Build something.
One thing small. I know we've been using focus in like the long-term play here, but I don't know if anyone else has this. Sometimes I sit down at the computer to do work, and a couple minutes later, something distracts me. A lot of times it can be your phone. I know you've talked about. Never, right? The little ding definitely wouldn't take you off track. Sometimes it's something outside that I see. Sometimes it's a thought that comes in my head. One way I found to take care of that, my dad always says, your focus is dictated by your environment. So in the long term, that's the same as getting in a room with people who are focused on the right thing, people who are like-minded, people who have or are working towards the same results as you. In the more shorter term, like literal sense of the word, as focusing on a task, that means like I always set my phone to do not disturb when I'm working now, and I put headphones on so that way I don't hear anything outside.
Yeah.
And I don't listen to music with a lot of words normally, or if I do, the songs I've heard a million times and they're just white noise.
Right.
So that way I'm not trying to pick up new information in my head.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to say that your environment will dictate your focus, and that's something you've taught me a bunch. Just wanted to bring that up.
That's awesome. That's a good point. And also time. We were talking about this last night, that you're going to find that there's certain rhythms and there's certain times of the day that you're more or less effective. And so you don't have to fight the flow to show you're really self-disciplined.
Right.
Organize and structure your day so that the focus time gets the things that are most valuable, and the other times are taking care of things that are less valuable.
There are times to do the self-control, I will grind through it mode. But if you do that all the time, you're just going to wear yourself out.
Yeah. And you're just not going to be as effective. So.
Right. Yep.
So anyways, there's our thoughts on focus and greatness and things of that nature. Final words.
Final words. Get in the right environment. Get in the right environment.
And focus on the right principles.
Yep.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.